What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today's topic is about chameleons. And we need to be aware of chameleons. And what I mean by that is, as a man, a young man, a middle aged man, a man who's starting out in life, a man who's successful, a man who will soon be successful, and I don't just mean monetary. Success comes in many different forms. But I've noticed, especially in the man space, that we have a lot of female contributors and female content creators. And when I started this channel, I have a genuine interest in informing men. And it's really because I grew up without a father. I didn't have a father in my life. And a lot of the things that I learned in life, I had to learn the hard way. Now, some things I learned by observing, and you always hear me talk about teachable moments. Teachable moments are very valuable. A very valuable tool for a man to have is observation. The skill set of observing, of being a very observant person, and not just observing but putting into action and practice the things that you observe. It will save you a lot of heartache and a lot of mistakes and a lot of missteps, because I made a lot of mistakes, and I'm going to make more videos about that. I'm going to do, we're going to do what we do over air. We're going to go over topics and be honest, but I'm going to also be forthcoming about the mistakes I made as a young man. And a lot of that is due to not having a father. When you don't have a father, you don't know how to be a man. The only person you have telling you how to be a man is a woman, because most of us were raised by single women if we didn't have a father. And women don't know how to be men, guys. Your mom is going to tell you or try to show you what she thinks a man is, but a woman cannot teach a man how to be a man. So most of us, like myself, you go out here and you make mistakes. You go out, you make mistakes. You don't know how to interact or correspond with women in a manly, masculine fashion, because you haven't been around masculinity, your whole life in your household. A lot of times we're not good with money. All the things that having a father brings into a young man's life: the structure, the organization, the discipline, the masculinity, how to your relationship with money, your relationship with women, how to interact with women, how to stand on your square, how to have a backbone, how to have a standard, how to have principles, not to be moved off of your position. All the things that you lack. Most men that grow up in single parent households are pretty much pushovers and spineless. It's just the truth. Or they're highly emotional, and most of it is a combination of all these things. But we have a lot of chameleons out here now, because there's so many men who are growing up in this way, and we have gender roles have been switched. Feminism is ridiculous now. It's morphed into something else. Masculinity is under attack, so we are producing a much weaker brand of men than we did 70 years ago. So with that being said, there is a need. There is a need for male guidance, for male support, for male leadership, for genuine healthy male masculinity. And you have a lot of people who've come into this space with unpure intentions. They just see it as a space to come into where they can do some exploitation and they can make a buck. So we are going to talk about this, about the chameleons that we see out there. And I'm going to tell you a personal story of mine. And this is something that I learned through observation of a man that I met. And I'm going to share with you. And then we're going to break this thing down the way it needs to be broken down from an honest perspective. I'm a guy who likes The car that I like Lexus. Lexus is a car that I like for a few different reasons. Number one, it's made by Toyota, so it has reliability. Um, it has a level standard of luxury that I like, and it performs pretty well. It doesn't perform obviously as well as like a Aston Martin or a BMW or a Mercedes or something like that. It doesn't have that level of performance, but where it lacks that kind of performance, it makes up for it in reliability. The reliability, the luxury, and the comfort of a Lexus is just an all-around great vehicle. You can't go wrong with Toyota. But anyway, I was looking for a car, and I went to the BMW dealership to look at this car. Someone traded in a car to buy a BMW, and I met the guy I was dealing with. His name was Brian. Really nice guy too. Really nice, really cool, chill, down to earth, laid back, which I like guys that are laid back because it matches me. But anyway, I was talking to him, and as you're filling out paperwork and you're just sitting down getting to know each other, he told me that he was married to a woman, and that he was divorced. He was recently divorced not too long ago, and said he met a woman, and she had 2 kids. They met, started a relationship. Fast forward, they got married. He said he took all his savings, everything he had, and bought them a house. So they had their house. They're a married couple. And fast forward, when I was in the dealership, talking to him, getting my car, going through the paperwork, they got divorced. And he said, when I got divorced, he said I lost everything. Everything I had, I put into that marriage. He said I took my life savings and I bought us that house. And he said when we got divorced, she got the house, and obviously they're not his biological kids, so he doesn't have any legal access to the children. But he told me, he said, look, he said, I'm very bitter. I have to start all over again. Everything I had is gone, and I have to start all over again. And he said that's why I'm here working at this car dealership, selling cars. And actually, he was trying to get a job at the company that I was with, actually. And he was asking me if they had any openings, if they were hiring. So, guys, a lot of us, we get duped like this when it comes to marriage. I want to tell you something. Women look at relationships. When they look at relationships, they in general are a lot more forward thinking than we are. They look at relationships as a chessboard. Like they're playing chess when it comes to relationships. Talking to this man and listening to his story, he basically was telling me that she only married me to get a house, and then she got rid of me because she was not able to afford a house. He was specific about that he bought the house. He used his savings to buy a house. She's a single mother with 2 kids. She did not have the capital to get a house. So he was saying that he basically did everything financially, got them this house that she never could have afforded, a 4-bedroom house, and then she divorced him and she got the house. A lot of these women out here, when they are looking at relationships, they are playing chess. They are already thinking several steps ahead. What can this man do for me? What can I get? Especially if she has kids. What can this man do? A woman that has kids is not looking for companionship, guys. She's not looking for a husband. She's looking for a provider. She's looking for someone to come in and take care of her and her children. That's what she's looking for. Never believe a woman when she says, I can do for my own kids. I just need you to come in and be a partner with me. But that's cap. The moment you marry a woman who has kids, you are husband and stepfather. And she is expecting you to not only take care of her, but also take care of her kids. I've been down this road. I've simped out. I've been with a woman. been in a relationship with a woman who had kids before, you will take on that responsibility. Do never believe this jargon that they tell you. So, when a woman sees you, and if you are a man that's doing all right, or maybe you're coming into your own and she sees potential in you, what she is seeing is someone down the line to be a provider, someone that's going to come in and take care of her and take care of her children, and then lead to marriage. And if something was to go wrong, whatever it is that you built and accumulated, if a divorce was to come out of that, she would have some sort of security, which usually comes in the form of the home. When we go into relationships, guys, we as men, we are not usually thinking that forward ahead. We're not, because the first thing that we usually see is the external, the appearance, what she looks like. From that point, we tend to look at the next step, which would be to be intimate with her. What do I need to do from this point in order to have sex with her? And then once we get to have the sex, then we start looking at other things like a relationship, what we need to have in a relationship. But we're still not looking ahead at marriage, possible divorce, what would happen. We just do not approach relationships that way. And it makes sense because women seek different things in relationships. They are seeking security. They are seeking protection. They are seeking different things. We're really seeking companionship, someone who's going to be loyal, someone that's going to be supportive, someone that's going to be submissive, but security never comes into it. So we don't care if she has a house, we don't care if the house is big, if it's small, what her 401k looks like. But women care about these things. So because they care about these things, they are always playing chess when it comes to the relationship. And this is where the chameleon part comes in at, because a lot of these guys, like Brian, the guy who I met at the car dealership when I was buying a car, she pulled off a chameleon act. A lot of us guys, because we don't play chess at the beginning of relationships or chess when we meet women, we are playing checkers. We wind up losing our queen, or we wind up in checker talk getting double jumped or triple jumped. And it's like, where did that come from? Well, it's because men and women look for different things, and women are playing chess and a lot more forward thinking when it comes to relationships. So this is where the chameleon act comes into play, because women will make you think that they are actually there for you. But a woman's primary basic instinct is for self-preservation and self-survival. That is her primary goal, self-preservation. And if she has kids, self-preservation for her and her children. You are not the priority. You are simply a factor in her getting her primary goal, which is provision, security, protection for her self-preservation. You are not her primary what's the word for it? It's a specific word for it, because I want to nail this. You are not her priority. But she will make you think that you are her priority. Her priority is herself and her children. But she will make you think that you are the priority. This is how they're able to get men, especially successful men, to marry them, by making men think they are the priority. Now, we believe it because we are different. A man's primary instinct and our basic instincts is to take care of our family. It is inherent in us to take care of our wife, take care of our children, take care of our family. And we will sacrifice ourselves and our own happiness and needs in order to do that. So when a woman betrays these instincts or qualities to us and make us think that we are their priority, we're easy to believe it. It's very believable for us to accept something like that because it is an innate attribute for us to have. But this is the chameleon act. It is a chameleon. She is putting on a front. And that is because her primary function, her goal, is to extract resources from a man. Because by doing this, it secures her self-preservation. This is her priority for her, and if she has children, for her children. The dynamic in the West is broken because most women here work, and because feminism has destroyed families and relationships. Women now look at men as utilities, not as necessity. Now, let me say this. There's nothing wrong with a woman seeking out a man who can provide and protect. That is fine because it's their innate nature. It's inherent. That's what women look after. The same way men have certain things that we look after. That is innate in us. That is biological. That's fine. The problem is that when men are looked at as a utility, like in Brian's case, and there's a million other Brians out there. The problem is when men are looked at as a utility versus a necessity. That's where the problem comes in at. That's why you see a lot of these passport bros going to different places to find women, because in their country, men are looked at as necessities. So though they want a man that will take care of their innate, what is in a woman innately, which is self-preservation for her, and if she has kids, for her kids, for the family, they view men as a necessity. So once they are with that man, their mentality does not switch. Their mentality is to get with that man and to keep that man and to stay with that man because that man is my survival. Whereas in Western society, women do not look at men like that. We are just a utility. Let me get with him, extract his resources, and when I am done with him, for whatever reason, I'm bored, I don't like him anymore. Once I'm done extracting enough resources, then I can leave. Then the divorce comes. That is the difference. This is why a lot of men are going to other countries to find wives, because they are a necessity to these women. Whereas in the Western society, you are just a utility. And once they extract the resources that they desire, then they leave. This is the athlete epidemic. This is the athlete paradigm. Women marry this athlete for 5 to 8 years, pop out a few kids, divorce, alimony, child support. This is the game plan. This is the playbook. And no matter how many times the playbook is seen for everyone to read, everyone knows the playbook. It's not a secret. You can pick it up and read it. No matter how open and public this playbook is, men still fall for it. The athletes still fall for it. Why? Because they don't have the skill of observation. They're not observant. They're not able to look at the past mistakes that other men have experienced and have done, observe it, and then avoid it. Most people are not observing. This is why you see the same mistakes replicating themselves over and over again. We know that if you get a woman pregnant that you don't want to be with seriously, you don't see her as a mom, you don't see her as a wife, you don't see her long term, but yet every day men are becoming single fathers because they're sleeping with women who are attractive. They're sleeping with women that makes them feel good in bed, but they have no other value to that man outside of the bedroom. But men continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And it's because most people are not observant. Being observant and looking at things to be teachable moments is an invaluable trait. It will save you lots of stress, lots of heartache, lots of anxiety, and lots of money. So knowing that this is an innate nature in women for self-preservation, for security, for provision, knowing that that is their primary function and goal and what they seek out, it makes sense that a lot of women who are now supposedly taking on men's issues and caring about men is also a chameleon act. It's a farce. It is just a means for them to get what is their priority innately and inherently in each and every woman. And I'm not saying all, I would never say all, but I'm saying many and perhaps most. I'm comfortable in saying most. Because men out here are struggling. Men out here are lonely. And as a sidebar, I'm going to be doing a video about a man who's 26 years old, who's a virgin and never had a girlfriend. And there's a lot of men like that, but saying what I just said made me remember that. There's a lot of men out here that are suffering through loneliness, suffering with their masculinity, suffering with their confidence, being told they're crazy because of the things that men want innately and inherently and biologically. We're being told it's wrong. Men are confused. There's no masculinity. There's no fathers. So because there's such a need for this in men's lives, you have a lot of people springing up and they're just profiting off of it. And they're just saying and re-saying a bunch of stuff that other people that actually do care saying in order to fulfill their agenda and that need that they're looking for. So guys, now you know. This is not my opinion. This is fact. Men value looks in women. Everyone knows that. No one would deny that. Women value resources from men. Everyone knows that. No one would deny that. And it's for a reason. Women need security. Women need protection. Women need provision. They seek these things. They are the weaker sex. So obviously it would make sense that they are looking for protection and provision. It would make sense that they look for security. Men value purity. Men value beauty. Men value submissiveness. Men value cooperation. It would make sense that we look for these things. These things are facts. They're not my opinion. So now that you know, if you didn't, what women look for inherently and innately, it allows you now to be able to deal with them on a more transparent playing field. They will dazzle you. They will say things. They will make you feel good. They will do a whole bunch of stuff to make you think you are their priority. But it is not true. It is not their nature. But they will do all these things in order to gain what it is that is inside them biologically, in order to gain the security, gain the provision, gain all that stuff, the protection. Whatever it is that will give them that, they will be very dedicated and loyal to. That's why a lot of women are career driven, because an abundance of finances gives them security. An abundance of finances gives them provision. But guys, there's something finances don't give women, and that is protection. No matter how much money you have in the bank, it cannot protect you. When you hear a bump in the night, at night, money does not protect you. When you're walking down the street and it's dimly lit and you're a woman, money cannot protect you. This is the one thing that women cannot substitute out for a man, which is protection. And this is why women, even when they make a lot of money, even when they have a lot of stuff, they still want a man. Because having a man gives them that protection, that security. I don't mean financial security. I mean physical security. It gives them that. That's something that can't be outsourced. You can't get it from a university. You can't get it from a high-paying job. You can't get it from a career. A degree doesn't give it to you. Only a man can give a woman that physical and emotional protection that all women innately seek and crave. So you're going to meet a lot of chameleons in your life when you're dating. You're going to meet women. They're going to be attractive. They're going to be beautiful. They're going to make you think that in that relationship, they are all about you and it is all about you. That is not true. It is all about them acquiring what it is they need to feel secure, safe, and protected. And if you are able to give them those things, then they will go all out for you. But it's not about you. This is what I want you to understand. And I'm not saying there's not a woman out there that can't love your character. Yes, having great character, you need that. But what I'm trying to say is that is not why they are choosing you. And I'm speaking in general. I'm not saying this is every woman, that no woman would put character they will put character consciously above these things. You got to remember, we work on a very subconscious level. Women can't help but be attracted to successful men that dress well, men that do well, men that are tall, they are innately attracted to this on a subconscious level. Now, there are some women who can consciously look at a man's character and then kind of disrupt what's going on subconsciously. For instance, a man who's not tall, but he may have great character, and he may be able to provide. But from her inherent standpoint, a guy who's not tall sends off these triggers in her subconscious that he can't protect, which is not true. So you do have women, a minority of women, who are able to diffuse what goes on subconsciously in them automatically and say, okay, yeah, he's only 5'9", but he has great character. And she's able to diffuse what her natural instincts is telling her. Because a guy who's 5'10", 5'11", 5'8", he can still protect. He can still do that. But women innately just associate height with protection. It's just something they do. So you have a small set of women that can do that, but most women can't, guys. Most women are led by their emotions on a subconscious level. This is why bad men or bad boys or bad guys constantly sleep with beautiful women. It's because they're tapping into what women are attracted to subconsciously. When women tell men what they want, they are speaking from a conscious standpoint, a conscious perspective. But what they want consciously is not what they want subconsciously. And most women react to what they want subconsciously. So guys, now you know what women want on a subconscious level, on an inherent level. Now you'll be able to spot the chameleons. Most women are not in the business of looking out for men's best interests. There are very few. So beware that this is not an innate attribute for a woman to have. Very rare. So when you go into these relationships, when you're approaching these women, when you're dealing with a woman, maybe you're in a relationship now, just know that. Know that this is not their innate nature. And that will allow you to have more transparency in your relationship. I'm telling you something that most women don't even know. Most women out there who keep dating jerks and bums and guys that are bad and guys that are this and guys that are that, they can't even tell you why they're doing it. A lot of them really have no idea or understanding why they keep picking and selecting the same type of men over and over again. It's because they're not able to get past what it is they want on an innate subconscious level, what inherently is inside of them. So guys, beware of the chameleons out there. And there are a lot of them now in this space, but being informed is half the battle. and it is even a bigger benefit in your relationship. So always be observant. Don't get caught up in your ego on what she's doing to you or what she's saying to you. Observe the dynamics of your relationship and what is happening. And again, there's nothing wrong with wanting a man who has resources and who can protect, provide, and provision. Every woman wants that. But does she need you? Does she see you as a necessity? Are you a need for her, or are you just utility? That's really what this comes down to. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give a thumbs up. Protect yourselves out there. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. This is not me taking shots at anyone out there that's on YouTube. There are a lot of different women and men, but this was more talking about women in this space that talk about men. I'll be honest, there's only about a couple that I watch or even listen to. But there are a lot out there who are chameleons. And they're not just on YouTube. They're also at your job. And some of you guys might be dating some right now. So I'll talk to you soon. Leave your comments below if you have any.